Curl up the wrist, now that's a big move. Ayy, things going my way, big move.
What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be learning how to do that effect that you just saw. First, what we're going to have to do is have two clips like this together, and you're going to want to make them two different clips all together. So we're going to have to use our left and right arrow keys to find where they separate or switch from one to the other, which looks like it's about right here. And using Command B, we're going to cut those two. So now we should have two different selections like this. And with the second one selected, we're going to go to Edit and then click Add Freeze Frame. Make sure when you added your freeze frame, you're on the first frame of the second clip. That's a big detail right there that you want to make sure you have. So now that gave us a freeze frame, which is just a picture like this of that frame. And we're going to drag our time head to where the two clips change. And using the left arrow key, we're going to go back about 25 frames. If you're doing basketball, you're probably going to be editing on 60, or you should be editing on like 60 frames per second. So you're going to go about 25 frames. Obviously, if you're editing on 24, it would be a lot less. So that's 25, and then you're going to drag this freeze frame to the time head like this, and then go to where the two separate again, and then just cut right there using Command B. And then you can get rid of this part because we don't need it. Now, where this freeze frame is at, we're going to make a mask. So we're going to go into the effects, we're going to go to Draw Mask right here, and we're going to drag it on to the freeze frame clip on the top. And in order to get a really clean mask, I'm going to zoom in to about 150, but it will vary depending on what your clip looks like. You may zoom in less, you may zoom in more. And I'm just going to try and make the most accurate pinpoints as I can, going around the player like this. Alright, so sometimes what could happen is, let me zoom back in. The player might have their arm like this and it creates a little space right there. That's something that happens in basketball, honestly, all the time when I'm recording. And all you have to do is add another draw mask onto it like this, and then make a selection throughout there. It shouldn't take too long. This is a really rough mask just for the sake of the tutorial, but sometimes you may have to add two draw masks for something like this. This happens a lot in sports because obviously their hands are moving and arms. And then you just have to press invert. And yeah, it's actually pretty simple. So now if we go back out, we have it all masked out like this. And I'm going to make a copy. So holding this clip, freeze frame clip that we masked out, and holding Option, I'm going to then drag up. So that gave us two clips like this. And on the bottom one, make sure it's the bottom one, or else you're going to be really confused and frustrated. You're going to go up here to the colors, and then you can make whatever color you want. It looks like his jersey's red and black, so I'm going to make it red. I'm just going to go here and drag all of them to around here. And then maybe some in the yellow, and then back over here. Or is that red? I don't know. Either one of these two reds. And it's not really noticeable, but you can kind of see a red outline. And how we're going to make it noticeable is we're going to go to the exposures and start playing around with them. I'm not sure exactly how or which ones to raise at the perfect one. Really, I just experiment every time I do this and bring them up there, saturation, see what that does. But yeah, I would just say just kind of experiment, kind of what I'm doing, like bring it down, what does that do, bring it up. It looks like this doesn't do anything, so I'm gonna leave it there. And to make it just a little bit more exaggerated, I'm gonna go to blur. And I'm not too sure how to pronounce this, but I'm gonna drag the Gaussian blur, that's probably not how you say it, to the bottom one. And as you can see, it gives us a pretty dramatic blur. A little bit too much in my opinion, so I'm actually gonna bring these down to about here. Bring that here. And like right there, that's cool for me. And then now we're gonna select both of these like this. And then we're gonna make them new compound clips. So now we have something that looks like this, which is pretty cool, but we're gonna animate it a little bit. And by animate, I mean kind of move it around. So we're gonna go back to the effects up here, and we're gonna go to the first frame. That's important. We're gonna be at the first frame. And we're gonna add a keyframe on rotation and scale all. And then on rotation, I'm gonna twist it to like maybe right here, nothing too crazy. And then I'll make it bigger or smaller. Maybe a little bit smaller, not too much, probably to like 86%. And then on the very last one, on the very last frame of this one, we're gonna drag everything back to 0 where it was at originally. So the scale all will be back to 100. Like that. And then once you do that, you should have something that looks like this.
Curl up the wrist, now that's a big move, ayy. Things going my way, big